Atlético de Madrid. Atletico began in 1903 as a Madrid offshoot of Athletic Club Bilbao, so early symbols echoed Bilbao's look. The pivot to today's identity came when the club folded Madrid's civic arms into its shield, the bear and strawberry tree plus 7 stars from the city's heraldry. Stripes stayed to preserve the club's own colors. The civic devices told the "We're from Madrid" half of the story. In 2017, a sleeker redraw dropped some angles and darkened the palette. Fans pushed back, and members later voted to restore the classic silhouette for 2024 to 2025, a rare case where supporters literally chose the crest. Real Betis Balompié. Betis is a merger badge. Sevilla Balompié 1907 and Betis FC 1910, united in 1914, picked up royal patronage that same year and added the crown. The triangular field of green-white stripes and the interlaced BB came from sewing the two clubs' identities together. During the Second Republic, the crown vanished, standard across Spain. After the Civil War, it returned, while the geometry kept getting cleaned up. The end result is a crest that literally encodes the merger in its shapes. Valencia CF. Valencia didn't invent the bat. They adopted it from the city's coat of arms, where it had flown for centuries. The Señera stripes, Valencian flag, were folded in early, giving the badge instant local literacy. As football branding matured, the club standardized a bat plus shield plus wordmark formula that could be registered and reproduced consistently. The reason it reads so fast today is that it's basically the city arms retold in football grammar. Sevilla FC. Sevilla's shield is a 3-part history lesson. Early 20th century club leaders wanted a mark that tied team, city, and initials, so the patron figures from the municipal arms sit on one side, red-white stripes, club colors, on the other, and the interlaced SFC monogram locks the center. Each modernization has polished line work but guarded that triptych structure. It's ornate by design, a civic mini altarpiece as a football crest. Athletic Club Bilbao. Athletic chose local heraldry over mascots. By the 1910s, the badge combined the San Anton Church and Bridge, Bilbao's emblem, with the tree of Guernica and wolves, historic Biscayan devices, all above red-white stripes. Every redraw since has been about simplifying those same civic anchors so they print clearly on stripes. The club never saw a real title. The point was always to wear Biscaya on the chest. Real Sociedad. La Real's badge formed when the club received the Real royal title in the early 1900s, a crown perched above a blue-white flag wrapped around a leather ball. When the Second Republic arrived, the crown disappeared and the club competed as Donostia. After the Civil War, the old elements returned. Because the core is a flag on a ball, tiny tweaks to the crown or folds don't change the read. It still looks like something drawn in football's sepia age, on purpose. RCD Espanyol. Espanyol's roundel comes from 1912 royal patronage, hence the crown, and the desire to show blue and white as the club's signature. Those colors were chosen to echo Catalan maritime tradition, often linked to Admiral Roger de Luria, and to stand apart from Barca's palette. Through spelling changes, Espanyol, adopted in the 1990s, and type updates, the club kept the crown circle because it framed the colors perfectly and reproduced cleanly on kit. RC Celta de Vigo. Celta is another merger story. Real Vigo Sporting and Real Fortuna fused in 1923, picked the name Celta by public suggestion to represent Galicia, and leaned into sky blue to mirror the Galician flag. The badge added the Cross of Santiago, a regional symbol with pilgrim roots, and with the club's royal status, a crown. Later tidy-ups changed proportions, but the logic never moved. Region first, club name and tone second. FC Barcelona. Barca crowdsourced its crest. In 1910, the club ran a members' competition to replace an earlier shield, yielding today's 4-part grammar: St. George's Cross, Señera, initials, and Blaugrana with a bull. Under the Franco era, the letters were flipped to CFB to match Spanish ordering. After the transition, the original FCB returned. Periodic refinements, 2002, 2018, slimmed lines and simplified edges so the member-designed concept scales to TV and thumbnails without losing the politics baked in. Real Madrid. Madrid's monogram and diagonal existed before 1920. That year, King Alfonso XIII granted the real title and the crown went on top. During the Second Republic, 1931–39, the crown came off and the diagonal in mulberry purple, associated with Castile, became the visual accent. After the Civil War, the crown returned and later redraws shifted the hue and refined the letters. The badge reads simple, but it's really a political timeline you wear on a shirt. Villarreal CF, Villarreal's built its badge around initials first, CVF, Club Villarreal de Football, because the club wanted something bold that popped on the all-yellow kit they adopted mid-century. The crown on the shield follows Spanish heraldic convention, mirroring the city's crowned arms, even though the club name never carried real. Over time, the club tightened the letter forms and brightened the palette. The idea stayed the same: let color and letters do the talking. Car Osasuna. Osasuna's crest is lifted from Navarre's arms, the red shield of golden chains topped by a crown. The club's name is Basque for health, strength, and from 1920 onward they leaned into a regional, not royal, identity. Crown included because Navarre's heraldry wears one. Modern cleanups sharpened the chains and the blue outline, but the reason for the badge has never changed. It's the Kingdom of Navarre on a football shirt. Real Zaragoza. Zaragoza's mark took the Lion of Aragon straight from the regional coat of arms and put a royal crown above after receiving the real title. The club formed through local mergers in the 1930s, and the new entity settled on that lion as the one symbol every fan understood. The Republican period removed the crown, the post-war era restored it. The white kit was then chosen to make the red-gold crest punch off the fabric. RCD Mallorca. Mallorca's circular crest goes back to its royal-named origins. The club began in 1916 honoring King Alfonso XIII. When names shifted to the modern real club Deportivo Mallorca, the laurel wreath plus monogram plus crown were kept as the formal core, then redrawn cleaner for prints and badges. It's deliberately medallion-like, a nod to the island's institutional identity rather than a city monument. Girona FC. Girona leaned into municipal patterning. Early badges borrowed the city's red-white lozenges. Later versions wrapped them into a shield and added a roundel so the mark sat neatly on stripes. When the club modernized the crest, designers didn't chase animals or crowns. They doubled down on, "This is our city flag," footballized. That's why the badge looks more like municipal branding than a mascot. Deportivo Alavés. Alavés chose a flag and a shield in 1921 to reflect its multi-sport roots, a waving banner with the club name and date. As the football section rose to prominence, the crest was simplified so the flag plus wordmark would read from distance on blue-white kit. Later redraws were basically printability passes. Keep the original idea, remove the noise.